Good morning, and welcome to Caretakers Corner, where we discuss everything that has to do with taking care of your elderly disabled parents, disabled spouses, adult disabled children, and yourself. My name is CJ, and I am your guide on this journey. And today we are returning to our series on negative self talk. We've discussed the best friend litmus test, fact checking the inner critic, the thought labeling technique, and today is going to be one of my favorites, and that is retiring the word should. And we use the word should all the time, and it is one of those words that I think puts way too much stress on anyone, but specifically on caretakers. We don't realize it, but we use it in a way of shaming ourselves. So I'd like us to get rid of that word. We work so hard at being caretakers, and we are pretty awesome individuals, but the shame that we put on what we should. We make large lists. If you remember around Christmas, I said, make a list of what you need to get done the next day and then pick the 5 most important. And then we look at the rest of that list and we go, I should get all this done. But we tend to, I think the saying goes, we overestimate what we can do in a day and we underestimate what we can do in a year. And that's a very important thing we need to remember. Just because we don't get to everything on that list doesn't mean we failed. It means we're human and we need to celebrate what we did accomplish. So that comes up here in a little bit. So I've got 10 items to help with getting rid of the should factor. Just trying quit using that word. And these are some ways that can help you when it comes up. All right. So the first one is identify the ghost behind the should. Often we say, I should do this, and we're actually hearing the voice of a critical parent, a judgmental neighbor, and a YouTube or social media influencer. I am nowhere near an influencer, so we need to shift that and to ask, well, who told me I should? Is it something that you feel you need to be doing? In that case, you go on and do it. Is it something that somebody told you need to be doing? In that case, if it doesn't align with where you are in your life right now, with your own values and energy and goals in life, then just chuck it, because you're playing keep up with the Joneses there. And if there's one thing that I've discovered in life, keeping up with the Joneses doesn't help anybody, and the Joneses don't really care. Number 2 is swap should for choose. So should feels like a weight that is pressing on us. It feels like a mandatory thing that we have to get done. All right. Instead of saying I should do the laundry or I should clean the house, say I choose to. That way it doesn't seem like it's a mandatory thing. And you can make that choice throughout your day on things that you have to do. Like say, I choose to go to the pharmacy today so that I don't have to worry about it tomorrow, or it frees up time tomorrow. Or I choose to go to the pharmacy today because it works with my schedule better. And that will help shift that in your head and make it a lot less, it won't weigh on you as much. And it'll free up a lot of mental and emotional anxiety that we carry around with us almost constantly as caretakers. Number 3 is the capacity versus expectation audit. We often should ourselves into thinking we have infinite energy. We need to use a simple mental shift. Actual energy is less than planned tasks equals necessary cutbacks. If your actual energy is a lot less than what you need to get done, then you need to prioritize what needs to get done. Choose the top 5, do them. If you don't have enough energy to do the top 5, start with the first one and work your way down until you are out of energy. If you've only got 20% battery, you can't perform at 100%. And I know I've done the spoon video, which I will post a little thing for right there. And it was concerning working with our loved ones, but We've got spoons too, and we've all got a limited amount of spoons, but we don't think about it in our terms like we do our loved ones. But we need to remember we only have so many spoons. And when we start shoulding all over ourselves, then we need to remember we only have so many spoons. Number 4 is replace should with it would be nice if. Okay? This lowers the stakes from a moral obligation to a simple preference. I should have the house cleaned spotlessly. That makes you really stressed when you look around and your house isn't clean. Change it to I wish, or it would be nice if the house were spotless. But today, resting for 15 minutes is my priority. So that simple little shift in our brain can help relieve a lot of anxiety. Differentiate musts from shoulds. Okay? And this is a big difference that we have to remember we have certain things we must do every day. We must feed our loved ones. We must make sure they get their medicine. We must make sure they have basic safety, or they have safety and basic hygiene. All right? Those are some things we have to make sure get done every day. In my case, 5 days a week, sometimes more, I also must work. But then we have things that should get done, or we would like to get done. Like, I would like to make sure the laundry gets done every day. I would like to make sure the dishes get done every day. I would like to make sure I could remember to sweep the floor every day, and I don't, by the way. This helps relieve the pressure off of us from a mandatory thing to if it gets done, it gets done. Remember, prioritize the musts, and everything else will fall into place, okay? Number 6 is, would you say this to a child or your best friend? And this goes back to the best friend litmus test. We are often our own harshest drill sergeants. The shift is, if you saw a child or a dear friend exhausted and crying, would you tell them you should get up and mop the floor? No. You would tell them, sit down and rest. Give yourself the same grace you give the rest of the world. That goes back to the video on the best friend litmus test, which I will try and post right there, because we need to give ourselves the same grace that we give the rest of the world. We are literally, like I said, our harshest critics. And we need to remember that we are human. We don't like to think that we are, but we are human. This weekend has been for me, has been a big deal about that, because I had a whole list of stuff I wanted to get done, and I'm sitting there going, oh man, I'm not going to get all this done. And it's like, it'll get done eventually. Right? I had to work around for most of it, so I'm not even worried. So number 7 is recognize should as a red flag for burnout. So when your brain starts shoulding all over you, man, that is a hard sentence to say right there. It's often a defensive mechanism trying to maintain control in an uncontrollable situation. So when things start spiraling and going chaotic, which is all over this world right now, it seems like it's at work, at home, with my mom, just everywhere right now. It seems like total chaos. Uncontrollable situations everywhere, right? We need to view the word should as an alarm bell. And when we hear it, we need to stop and ask, am I feeling out of control? And do I actually need a break? Sometimes we just need a break. The last 2 weekends, I have taken family time where, like I think one weekend I didn't even post a video because we were out all weekend. And then last weekend, I did post a video, but we still spent like Saturday and most of Sunday just out doing family stuff. Take time out. Take time for yourself. Take time for your family. Go watch a movie. Go to the park. I mean, the weather's starting to get nicer. Go for a walk in nature. That will help ground you, and it will help get you back in focus. Recognize that as a red flag, because burnout is really not good for you, not good for your loved ones. When you get burned out, you're less effective in your day, your temper is shorter, and you tend to blow up easier. So, and it affects your immune system, making you more susceptible to being sick. Try to keep from getting burned out. Try to remember that burnout is our enemy. It really is. use the so what reality check. We often should because we fear a vague, catastrophic outcome. The shift from I should cook a 3-course meal to so what if I don't? Then we'll eat sandwiches. So what? We're still fed. So the so what test helps reveal that most should statements don't actually have a dire consequence. Yeah, I guarantee Barbara would love a 3-course meal every night. It's not happening. I meal prep on the weekends, and then she gets heated up meals during the week. So we got to remember we have to do what is within our strength to do. And look at, if I don't get this done, what's going to happen? For me, I wanted to switch out my wardrobe this weekend. It's getting really hot at work. I have not managed to get that done as of yet. So what if I don't get that done? I went to Walmart and bought a pair of shorts. I can wear the pair of shorts I bought, and I just have to do laundry every night, or at least wash them every night. I mean, I have a workaround for it. But the day's still young. I might still get it done. Mourn the should have been life. So for caretakers and for our loved ones, especially our spouses, when we got together, we didn't think we'd be taking care of our spouse so early in life. And we tend to think of it like my life should look like my friends' lives, or my spouse should be healthy. And we need to acknowledge that these did not turn out like we thought. I did an episode, or I did a series on grieving, and in that series I went over grieving the loss of the lives that we thought we should have. And so when that pops up in our head, we need to take the time to acknowledge that we have these feelings. Grieve the loss and be happy for where we are in our lives. So write down things that we're grateful for. When this pops up, go, okay, yes. I thought we would be out traveling. I thought we would be going to concerts. And I accept that that's stuff that I've thought of over the years. But I'm grateful that Barbara is still here. I'm grateful that I'm healthy enough to take care of her. And I'm grateful that I've got great friends and family that help me with her. So when you start to feel that way, and that my life should have been different, this should be different, pops in, acknowledge it, and list 3 to 5 things that you're very grateful for in your life at this moment. And that will help you mourn that, get on, and show you how great things are for you. So number 10 is celebrate the did instead of the should. So we have all these lists that we make. I told you, make a list of 5 things, or make a list of everything you need to do and prioritize the top 5. At the end of the day, when you look back on your day and you look back on that list what you did, not what you didn't do. Yesterday, I did not get everything that I wanted to get done on my list, but I did get Barbara's breakfast made for the next week, and I did get my foods I'm finishing a 72-hour fast this morning, so I'm breaking fast today. I did get some of the food prepared for that, for my breaking fast. I did get the contractor over to the other house to work on the wall behind. He replaced the water heater. And I did get to Kroger to buy all the stuff so I can make ratatouille tonight. So, I mean, I had a lot of I dids. I did not get everything on my list, but I did get a lot on my list done. And we need to remember, let's celebrate what we accomplish and not get upset over what we didn't accomplish. And really, when it comes to should, that is really the biggest thing we have. We have a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves to accomplish a bunch of stuff. And we need to accept that sometimes we are not going to get all that stuff accomplished. But keep making the list every night, right? Remember to prioritize the top 5 and not get upset when you don't get those top 5 done. If you have a big project, like we're doing some renovation in the house, and for doing that renovation, we have a lot of stuff that we need to get done to prep the house for the renovators to come in. It can be overwhelming. So it's one of those things where we're going to make a list of everything that needs to be done, prioritize them in the most logical way they need to be done, and then we can do them over the next several weeks. This way it makes it less overwhelming and allows us to accomplish it in a logical way and keeps everybody from getting stressed out. And that is the most important thing that we do in life. We're trying to mitigate stress on us and on those that we love and that we take care of. So I hope this video has helped. I'm going to include a weekly affirmation list that will help you with should statements in the comment section. I'll probably pin it in the comment section. I hope that will help you. Maybe you can copy and paste it, print it out, whatever you need to do, and access it. If you know other caretakers, you can share it with them. Also, please share the channel. Make any comments in the comment section of ways that you deal with should statements. I know it's a very difficult thing to do to try and work around should statements. And being that should also gives us the ability to be harder on ourselves. It's one of those things where we're trying not to be harder on ourselves. So that's why we want to get rid of it. Next week, we will be discussing using micro affirmations. And I'm going to have fun with that. I hope you have a great week. I hope this video has helped you. I hope you take your 15 minutes every week and you use your journal. Like I said, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next week. Love you all. Bye-bye.